He said, as far as success goes, those factors are big. And I'm going to add, as far as happy goes, those factors are big. Let's talk about making it. So I'm at the NFL Combines. They bring all these senior athletes into Indianapolis, college athletes. Hey, what I'm doing is like what you're doing. I'm trying to tell this team, should they drop millions on this investment? Got this guy in front of me, sitting there with the head coach of the Steelers. I asked this guy, have you ever had any adversity? He said, yeah. I said, what? What'd you have? He said, I had a separated shoulder for 4 years. I said, wasn't that painful? He said, real. I said, how'd you do that? How'd you play? How many games you missed? He said, I never miss a practice. How'd you do it? Watch what he said. You got to focus in here. He said, I walked on the field every day. Now watch this next line. He said, and I said to myself, that's it. Hey, my numbers aren't right where I'd like them to be. And I said to myself, hey, I lost my best client. I've got twins coming. And I said to myself, this guy goes on, so if my mother can go to work with cancer, I could play football. He said, my mother never missed a day in 6 years. Never missed a day of work. I had the nerve to ask him how his mother's doing. He said, we buried her last month. Now, you're me. You're sitting with the Steelers. You're trying to tell them what to do. What would you tell them to do? I told him to draft him. His name was Torrey Holt. Now, I know not everybody here watches football. Every year that guy's played, he's never missed a Pro Bowl. Now, watch this part. He wasn't the strongest out there, wasn't the fastest. Don't you see where you're in this story? How do you talk to you? How do you choose to think? This system, Nerves of Steel, has a number of steps. This is the first step. Your money's not your wealth. Okay, I saw that was a fabulous presentation. And I know what you guys just sat here and watched. Your money's not your wealth. Your time is. You got to get it. Your time is. Whatever you gave for today, you paid something for it now. A day. Pitcher for the New York Mets, his name was Tug McGraw, came out with that phrase, you got to believe. They trade him to the Phillies. They interview him when they trade him, and they ask him, hey, what do you like better, AstroTurf or grass? He says, I don't know. I've never smoked AstroTurf. I mean, I don't have a response. His son is a country western singer married to Faith Hill. His name's Tim McGraw. That baseball pitcher died 2 years ago, January, from a brain tumor. Song came over the desk of the country western singer 2 months later. He looks at it and goes, this is my dad. Those lyrics are my father. He recorded it. It was the song of the year. Hey, it was about a guy who got a bad x-ray, went to his friend and said, it's over. Hey, this x-ray says it's over for me. His friend said, what did you do when you realized it's over? He said, I went skydiving. You heard the song. I went Rocky Mountain climbing. I went 2.7 seconds on this bull named Fu Manchu. Man, I love deep. I even spoke sweeter. I gave forgiveness I've been denying. Don't miss the next line. He said, I hope you get the chance to live like you're dying. That gets me. That one gets me. If you get a chance when you get out of here, get Steve Jobs' commencement address to Stanford. It's unbelievable. The Wall Street Journal ranked it the #1 address of the year. Steve Jobs gets given up for adoption. They gave him back. Here's a kickoff for you. If that doesn't go to a therapist's couch, you're not going. He starts Apple Computer in his garage, matures it with a friend. His friend goes to the board and says, fire him. He said, how do you get fired from a company you started? He then goes and picks up Pixar, first contract Toy Story. Then he goes ahead and starts NEXT Computers. Apple buys them, CEO of Apple today. He gets diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, buried my 54-year-old brother-in-law in October, pancreatic cancer. Doctor says, hey, go get your affairs in order. You know what that means. He comes back at the end of the day to do a blood test. Doctor's crying and says, you got a 1% chance of getting this diagnosis and making it. You're a 1%. You're going to make it. Steve Jobs has done one thing every day of his life. He's never missed a day. Hey, you tell me if you'd be different if you did this. Tell me if anything would be different. He wakes up, never missed a day since his 17th birthday. Walks to the mirror. Just him in the mirror. He says to the mirror, let's live today like it's our last day. It's you and I. Come on. Hey, what would be different if you did that? This isn't my term, but would you be one of those ducks? People walk around like this all day long. Quack, 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 quack. You know the group goes down the bar after work, complains about how awful everything is, and they call it happy hour. You know the group. So watch, let's set this up. This kicks off the whole nerves of steel thing. What if you had a year? Just 1 year. That sets this all up. It's a good number. Guy goes to the doctor's. Doctor says, you're in bad shape, pal. You got a year to live, that's it. He goes, Doc, is there anything I can do? He said, give all your money to charity. Move to some backwoods shack and marry the first woman you can find who has 9 kids. He said, will that save me? Doctor says, nope, but it will be the longest year of your life. Just one. Now, let's talk about this. 1 year. You know what happy is? You got to stick with me here. You know what serving is? You know what being the best is? You know what loving your family is? It's one thing. Here it comes. It's a choice. That's all it is. I mean, people act like it's some kind of a virus that comes. It's a choice. Now watch the system I'm giving you today. According to what I'm giving you today, you know what worry is? It's praying for what you don't want. What I'm telling you today is you've got a year. What would you want? Get in your mind just that. The rest is called mental clutter. It's not taking you where you want to go. See that scene in The Fugitive? I mean, it was a powerful scene and you had to catch it. Tommy Lee Jones is coming through that pipe. Harrison Ford looks back and says, I did not kill my wife. Classic line. Come on now. What's he say? I don't care. What he was saying is, you're my vision, you're the picture. I don't want anything else in there. It's clutter. You're it. What if you did peace of mind that way? What if you did serving others? What if you did having significance in your job that way? I'm at the Rigor Royale in New York City. They're having a Men in Black 2 party about 3 years ago. Tommy Lee Jones comes to the lobby. I'm standing there with my little girl. I got an urge. I said, hey, Tommy Lee, I did not kill my wife. He looks back at me like, you fruitcake, and that's all I got on that story. What you're